Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Kicking It with Key, the Porch Podcast, where we sit in a dope environment and talk to dope people about how dope they are. I am your host, Key, and I'm sitting with my first guest today. We're going to jump into it. She is awesome, and I want her to tell you all about her awesomeness.
So hi, first and foremost, thanks for having me
You're so
here. I'm so
welcome.
excited. My name is Shanelle Robinson. I am the owner of Welcome Real Estate as well as Workherpreneur, and I
You do
do a little
everything.
bit of everything.
And that's why she's here, because I want you to tell us all about what you do. Let's start with Workpreneur, because I feel like that is so dope. Like, that's what people are doing these days. They're trying to get into entrepreneurship, and they just want to know how. She owns a venue, so listen up closely, because we want to know about that. How did you start the venue first?
When I said I am the owner of Welcome Real Estate, so Welcome Real Estate, I am a real estate investor as well as a real estate agent. And when I initially, when I initially started Venue 710 Creative Space, which is an intimate event venue in Burlington County, I started it with the intent of this is real estate, right? I so easily can purchase a property, I can do a rehab on the property, I can rent it out to a family, but I wanted to go the commercial route. So when I found the location, I saw it, and in my head was a vision of me being able to have a building or a platform to be able to do workshops and have meetings and things like that, and then rent it out to other people who want to have intimate events. So that is where Venue 710 Creative Space was birthed.
It's
So
so cute, and it's a cute and cozy space. I think how many people it holds? Like
it
50,
holds
right?
up to 50 seated, a little more, about 65 standing cocktail style. So
Okay,
yeah.
and she has great prices and everything. So if
Hmm.
somebody like me who want to look into, I always wanted to own an event space.
Hmm.
So that's why I'm so intrigued by you, because you're doing it. Like, I see you doing it. You, Tawanda, a lot of people are doing it.
Hmm.
So like, how do you start? Like, where would one start to even, is it like real estate, like buying a home type of thing?
It could be, right? So most people who own event spaces lease them. So
Okay.
you can lease the building. I think leasing the building is the way that you can get in with the less amount of money, the least amount of money, because
Okay.
you don't need as much. Like you need enough for the lease, you need
Okay.
enough for the startup, you need enough for the business, and for the products and the supplies.
Okay.
So if that's something that you want to get into, I think that it's an amazing way to make money. What I do say is that you can't just wake up in the morning and say I want to do it. It
Okay.
involves a lot of passion. It
Okay.
involves your mindset, a mindset change. But I think it is something that anyone can do, and it definitely could be lucrative,
Okay.
depending on how much work and effort you want to put into your building, the build out, the
Hmm.
supplies, and then most importantly, your marketing.
What would you say is your hardest challenge with owning the venue?
Probably people, like, right, your team. I think in anytime you have a business or have a business venture or anything that you want to do, I
Okay.
feel like eventually you need a team, like, right? So I didn't need a team to start, but what I'm finding is that that's not my only business venture. We'll talk about it. I
Of
also work
course.
full time and things like that. But I think the challenge is within myself, maybe
Okay.
finding people to do the work, right? Because we know that as entrepreneurs, we'll be successful when we hire other people to do things. Like, right, we can't do
Gotcha.
everything by ourselves.
Got you.
So I think the hardest and the most challenging part is like finding people that's really going to have a passion to do the work and really like run your baby the way that you would want them to.
Now, what does a team look like for a venue space? Because for me, I'm thinking, I own the space. I rent out the space. People call me. They want to rent out the space. So I don't see team in venue. So I'm learning something. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
what does a team look like? What would a team look like for that?
So a team would look like from the beginning, right? And I think that anybody who owns a business, and
Okay.
these are things that as a business owner, I'm still working on as well.
Okay.
But I think that anyone who owns a business needs to start off first and foremost. You need a legal team, you need a financial team, and you
Okay.
need mentorship, like, right?
Okay.
So that's any business. But with a venue, you do need to know financials. You need to know in terms of like what you're spending, what you're saving.
Okay.
But that's just the background, like, right? Those are the things that you look at in the background,
Okay.
but you need the building, you need the location, you
Hmm.
need to make sure that location is zoned for events, right? Because that's big. You can always go out and find this building, but if this building is zoned to be a supermarket and is not zoned for people to have events in, then you have an issue. So there's some back paperwork that you can contact the city or the township to get
Okay.
information on. But once you have that, you need the space. You need to look at the space. You need to see like what people want, like, right. And I would encourage people to look at other event venues in your area to see what
Okay.
they have.
Okay.
Also on your team, you need someone that's going to be running the events, who's going to be doing your bookings, your showings,
Hmm.
who's going to be cleaning your venue?
Wow, you're
Like,
right.
Who's going to be setting them up? Who's
You're
pulling
right.
those tables and chairs out? Who's
Who's
the
doing that
security?
cleaning crew?
And if you actually run events, are you the one that's going to be throwing the events?
Okay.
Or, so when you think about when you go to a wedding or you go to an event and you see all of those little moving parts from the time you park to the time you walk in, there's someone in the background that's running that and someone in the background that's part of a team that's doing that. Unfortunately, a lot of that is me right now. But eventually, as I grow, my goal in entrepreneurship, period, is to come up to a place where I own the business, but I'm not running the business. I'm working more on my business than in my business.
Okay.
But I feel like I have to know the ropes first. I have to know what I'm managing people to do.
And what would you give advice for to know that? I know how long have you owned the venue space?
We just opened the venue earlier this year.
Oh, wow. So not even a year
I'm not
old.
new to real estate, but I am new to
we're going to jump into the real estate. But I can't believe it because the way you run it, I feel like it's been up and going for a long time.
I've been blessed. I have been blessed.
That is so
we've been
good.
Doing well so far.
So at this point, so you feel like you're not even a year in and you've already established that you need to get the team. And as far as like having someone, help you or whatever case may be.
Yeah.
How is that going to look for you? Like, when would you want to have that established by? What's your timeline, I should say?
So I think that, I do have a cleaning person.
Okay.
I have the cleaner.
Okay.
I have people on standby that I could utilize. I do have in terms of like financials, things like that.
Okay.
Access to that. But even I think what it will look like next for me will be someone that I know I can trust in terms of actually doing the showings and things like that. And also marketing. Marketing is big for me.
So big.
Huge.
So big.
And there are just some things as entrepreneurs we have to let go and understand that we have to hire the experts to do it. But a lot of times as entrepreneurs and business owners, we don't want to spend the money. Like, we want to keep all the money in-house, but that's huge. Like, right. It's some people say I can't afford to hire a marketing person. Honestly, I say you can't afford not to. So I think that is one of my next things, to really get someone on my team who's going to do the marketing for me. And that's just the content creation and all of that, because I'm learning as I go along. So I kind of know what I want.
Gotcha.
But to hire an expert, someone that's knowledgeable in it, is going to be beneficial for me. And I think that's what's really going to take my business
to the next level.
Absolutely, for sure.
I think that's so good. You gave me something else to look at, because although I always thought I wanted to own an event space, hearing you talk about the team that's building with the marketing, like I'm more like to do the party. Like I want to come and just do the party. I want to bring people to the party. I want to fill up the venue space, but not necessarily own it. So now I'm thinking like I might be more of a team player than the actual owner. And that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean?
It absolutely is not. I know people who own event spaces and they have a team, and on their team there's a decorator. There's a person that's hosting the events. There's a person that's doing the marketing. There's a person that's actually setting up for the team. There's a breakdown team. And they all work in a cohesive space, and they know they're in their lane, and they know their role, and that's it, and they work.
I love that. I love that.
You can definitely partner with someone.
I think that's good. Just hearing the different aspects. Because, you always think, I throw a lot of parties, and I'm always like, I need an event space to throw parties. But then now as I'm talking to you, do I really need an event space, or do I just need a permanent space? You know what I mean? Like a place that I can utilize for what I do.
Yep. And the crazy part about it is, even when I got this space, I tried to convince myself that I was this big event person. I am not an event person. Like, really? I like throwing events, but that is not my niche. That is not my expertise. Okay. Can I set up your venue and make it look nice? Absolutely. But that's not my lane. That's not what I was brought in this earth to do. That's not what my intent was. That's starting not your ministry. Venue. It is not my ministry, right? So I'm not going to act like I'm this big old event person. Like, right? I own the real estate. I know the business, and I run the background, and I have the actual space. I don't need to enter this space of being an event planner, right? Because there are people out there that do it, and that love to do it and do it very well. I love that. I love that. Now, you got the event space because you are a realtor. You have that as well. Yep. Amongst her 9 to 5. So, like, we're going to talk about balance in a little while. But amongst that, you are into real estate. How is it being an investor? Because I think you own properties too. I'm just saying think because I don't want to be like, okay. So how is that? Like, how's being a landlord? It's been very lucrative, and it's been a learning curve. But however, I will say that it is a decision that I made, one of the best decisions that I could have made for my life. Okay. And I started getting into real estate years ago, probably about maybe 5 or 6 years, about 5 years ago at this point. Okay. And it was something, I was a landlord a long time ago, but not like on purpose. Like, it was something that I had a house and I needed to get rid, I moved, and So I was, what do they call it, a landlord like by happenstance, right?
Okay.
But this time I did it intentionally,
Mhm.
and I think that I started in real estate because I did not want to have my job and my husband's job be our only sources of income. Because
Love that.
to my honest opinion, if you only have one source of income, you are too close to zero.
That's so
So I
true.
wanted another income. We call it passive. It's not
Passive.
so
Yep.
passive, but I did want another income where if I quit my job or my job quit me, that I'd be fine. Like, right, there would be other income. There's another income that's coming in my household. So that's how I kind of got into real estate. I
Okay.
got into real estate investing first. I bought my first property and then I got my real estate license because I felt that I could control that piece of it too. I could see
Got
my
you.
own properties, do my own transactions. So it's been something that I truly am glad that I got into. I encourage everyone to get into it,
Really.
especially I don't know that I know any millionaire, billionaire, or just very wealthy person that is not in some form of real estate, that owns some type of real estate. You may
I'm
not see
learning
them
that.
out on the forefront, but I promise you, if you check their
They
financials,
got something going
they
on.
definitely have some investments. So it's something that I can build wealth for, generational wealth. It's going to pay for
Mhm.
my daughter's college. It's funding all of my vacations. It's
Love
funding.
that. Just
It's
to hear
yep,
that part,
yep.
hook me up,
And
okay?
it goes on and on and on and on. And my daughter will have it. And I'm not even building wealth right now for my daughter. I am building wealth for my daughter's daughter, my daughter's kids. Like,
Exactly.
right, I'm building wealth for people that I have not even met right now, and people
Yes.
that are don't even exist in this world,
Yes.
right? And that's the mindset that we need to have. And my money is going to be going in different types of buckets, and that's the
I
plan.
love that. That's so inspiring just to see, we met at your event space
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
I've been following you on social media and you are so inspiring because you do all of this and you
Mhm.
still hold a 9 to 5
Mhm.
and to see you how what's the balance in that? Because I know we see it, we only see the good parts in people's lives
Yeah.
that they post on social media or some of the bad, some
Yeah.
people do. But how do you balance that? You are a wife, you know what I
Whew.
mean? Like you got a lot going on. I
It's a
feel
lot
like
going
me.
on.
So how do you balance that?
I balance it. You know what? I think I to give you the true honest answer, I think that I have an end goal in mind. And I think that by setting that end goal and by having this goal that I want to achieve, my long-term goal, like right,
Okay.
I think it helps me every day because at some point in time I was like, this job has to go, I'm out of here. And it took a lot of mindset, it took some therapy, and it
Got
took a
you.
lot of mindset changing for me to realize that that job is not my end all be all. That job does
Mhm.
not run me, right? The job is not what my focus should be. That job is a means to an end. And my
Got
end
you.
is to live life on my own terms financially and get my time back, like right.
Mhm.
So when you think about that and you shift your mindset to say that that's what that job is going to do and that's what it is for me, it gives me a peace and satisfaction of knowing that it's a means to an end,
Okay.
right? So I use that job as my funding source. I use it. I develop a lot of skills.
Okay.
We'll talk about my new
Okay.
business venture as well. But my job is really driving and giving me the education and the skills and the experience to really support a lot of other people within my business.
So
So,
basically, we use our 9 to 5 to fund our passion,
hmm
and our passion is what keeps
yep,
us going
yep.
forward.
You use that
Okay.
9 to 5 to fund that 6 to 10 until that 6 to 10 can replace that 9 to 5.
I love that. I
Absolutely.
love that. I love that. So let's jump into what you're doing now. What is everything? I'm not even gonna say. I want you
Right.
to say it.
So as we previously spoke about, I have a full-time job. I'm an administrator, and with my job and my investments and my like real estate and the venue, I've learned a lot. I've done a lot, and like I said, there was a point where I wanted to quit my job, but then I realized that my job is providing the source and the funding, and it's providing the resources for me to live life on my own terms. But
Gotcha.
then I realized that there are a lot of women out there who that I see, and they're in my circle too, like right
Mhm.
where we have full-time jobs, but we also have this passion of having a side hustle or running a business.
Mhm.
And I'm a soccer mom, I'm a wife, and
Ooh.
we do all of these things. But I see that on social media, there is I quit that job, I'm out of here, like right, quit
Yes.
that job, you don't need that job, like right. And I agree. Eventually, I want to get to a point where I'm a full-time entrepreneur as well. But then you see the other extreme where people want to do it and have a passion for entrepreneurship, but they don't do it because they're scared. They have this
Gotcha.
job and they
Mhm.
have to work to provide for the bills
Mhm.
and provide for their family. But I rarely saw a space in the middle where people did both and really excelled at both, especially women. Women is my jam, like, right? I
I
thought I could
love
work
that.
with everyone and I
Yes.
can,
Yes.
but women are my jam, especially women that look like me, especially
Yes.
women who have not always had opportunities to get
Mhm.
funding and sourcing and things like that. So that's where Workherpreneur, was
I
birthed,
love
right?
that.
We work, we're females, and we're also entrepreneurs,
I
like,
need a
right?
shirt. That's so
Yes, I
dope.
do. They'll
I
be coming. They'll be
I need a
coming. They're
shirt. It's follow it Workpreneur,
coming. Workherpreneur.
Workherpreneur on
Workherpreneur. Yep.
social media because
Yep.
it's on Facebook. I
Yep.
think you have Instagram too.
We
It's
have
on
Facebook,
Instagram too.
Instagram. We're working on
Yes.
LinkedIn, TikTok, all of them.
I
But
didn't know the
yeah,
history of it. I love
yeah,
that. Like I
that's
love
where
that.
Workherpreneur was birthed. So Workherpreneur is a platform. It's a business where I'm starting, where I'm going to be supporting ambitious, career-driven women
Okay.
to help them build and grow their businesses, right? So a lot of times we have these side hustles, right? But when we don't really start the business in the right way, we have a
Yes.
side hustle, and our side hustle makes us money, but it doesn't give us all the other opportunities and benefits that we can get from owning a business. The tax write-offs,
Yes.
the appreciation where we own real estate, like
Mhm.
things like that, things that we don't know. We just have a passion for making jewelry, like, right? We have a passion
Got you.
for like selling baked goods, like,
Yep.
right? But there's another side to it. There's funding out there. There's grants out there. There's all types of
That we don't
benefits
even
that we
know
can
of.
get as women, especially as minority women,
Wow.
that are beneficial to us. So I want to be that voice of reason. I want to be that mentor, to be able to mentor women and say, listen, you deserve both. And don't let that 9 to 5 be the deciding factor as to whether you can win in entrepreneurship.
Because you're showing that you can do both. Like you're
Mhm.
excelling at both.
Mhm.
So like I do that as well, excel at both. So that's so cool. Is there like classes? How can one get under your
So
guidance?
we are in the this is so new, but we are in the building phase. So
Okay.
what my goal is to have like a mentorship type group. Right now
Okay.
we do have a Facebook community which is free, which is I encourage you to join while it's
Yes.
free. It's
Yes.
Workherpreneur Collective, and you can also like our Workherpreneur page. But the goal is to really have some type of mentorship where I'm running classes, where I'm
Okay.
doing really doing that the one-on-one eventually, where I'm helping you build the business, starting the LLC, getting the EIN number, let's get
Okay.
the bank account, let's get the business credit, let's get all of that done. Let's really talk about what your branding is going to look like,
Okay.
and know that your job, you can use it. Like, right, there are a lot of times where our job is funding workshops. Our job is providing us with opportunities. Our job, we have 401ks and pensions we can tap into, and other ways that we can invest our money into our business, into real estate, into anything. So I want to be that voice of reason to really help women who are working, and help them build like their business from the scratch. Some of them already have businesses, but how can we make that business stronger so that we're winning on both ends? And I want to say also, a lot of people have that notion that you want to quit that job, like, right? I have met so many people who love their careers.
I love my job.
Like, right? Love it.
I
So the
love
goal
my job.
doesn't always have to be that you quit your job. It can be that you can exist in both, like, right? But eventually, when you decide that you want to retire early or you want to retire eventually, you now have this business, this flourishing, growing business that you can run as well.
I tour with the two, from going from I love my job and I would want to be a full-time entrepreneur, but full-time entrepreneurship is full-time. Like you don't get any break. And I think that scared me when I jumped into a detox. I was selling detox juice in 2021 and I sold 10,000 juices out of my house. Like it took off like crazy. But then I was like, what if I was doing this? Like people don't care. It was my birthday. People was putting orders. Like there is no time off. So how do you like
so that's what we do. We do as well. We focus. That's going to be a focus, and that's what we started doing as well in Workherpreneur. It's about that work-life balance. You have to have a work-life balance in anything that you do. Like, right. So it all starts with your mindset. Like, right, because I know that first-handedly, I get up and my brain is literally like
turning, right,
going. So I'm getting into the practice of the affirmations and the meditation, and like we have to have a strong foundation. Before we can be beneficial and serve anyone, we have to be able to serve ourselves.
That's true.
So I think that it's important that it's just not about financials. It's not just about money. It's not the act of doing the business. It really is the act of how are we setting ourselves up and preparing ourselves. Because at the end of the day, a 9 to 5 can be stressful, and your business can be stressful, but entrepreneurship is a beast within itself.
Oh my goodness.
It is a beast within itself. Customer service and products and finding funding, and it's a lot. And
I don't think people show that side of it as much as they should. You know what I mean? Like we're always talking about, oh, it's good, I'm making money, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But nobody's really talking about the late nights and the sleepless nights, and like just making sure the customer service, because people have no customer service skills anymore. So it's like,
that's the goal of Workherpreneur, and that's the goal of the private group, and eventually the mentorship, is to really talk about all of those things, talk about some of those challenges that we're having. a space where we can be relatable, because
Okay.
I know firsthandly, I can experience, and I know you as well, that you have friends and you have family who love you dearly, but they're not going to be the ones that are supporting your
No,
business. They're not going
no.
to be the ones that you could turn to with your challenges and asking for advice. Like, there needs to be people that are literally in the circle with you, and people who are feeling and doing the same thing that you're doing. So it's a community
Hmm.
where we're all coming together as entrepreneurs, and we all feel each other, like, right? Because we
Yes.
work. We know what it's like to have to come home and cook dinner and then run your daughter or your son to soccer or football
Yes.
practice and bring your laptop and work there
Oh
because you're with
God.
customers.
Or in your inbox
Yeah.
because people are
Yep.
inboxing you and just
Oh, I
doing.
just did it this week. I was like cleaning the venue while I was scheduling another, and then a tenant called for something else,
You're
and then
like, oh God.
it goes on and on and on and on. But at the end of the day, it is a passion, like, right? It's, you
True.
love it, and it's something that you want to do. And when you have that passion and drive for it, no one can take that away from
And
you.
you're willing to do
Yep.
whatever it is
Yep.
to meet those goals. What's
Absolutely.
self-care looking like for you? Because you got all of this going on. How are you taking care of you?
So self-care for me is something that I have been working on, and I too, I have to disclose as well. Like, therapy has really been a godsend for me,
Really?
because it wasn't until I started that I realized that I needed so much self-care. I thought self-care was like me sitting in my room, like, on my phone, but it's not.
Yes.
So I've been practicing, like, just doing things for myself. I've been doing a lot of traveling just to reflect and just be able to get away from the work. Although sometimes I actually work on it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I am working on the self-care thing. I'm doing a whole lot better now, but
Okay.
just getting out and just getting away from it all,
Okay.
just being able to just like sit on my own and, get things done, get my nails done, get massages, things like that. I've been working on it. So it too is a work in progress as well. And I will say, to be fully transparent, this collective, this Workherpreneur group is so far as, and we have minimal members, and we're
Mm-hmm.
still building and growing. It has been a godsend for me because it's helping me too. Like, right, I'm not that
Wow.
expert. I'm not even going to proclaim to
Mm-hmm.
be the expert person,
Got
but
you.
it really is. It's been very beneficial for me as
I love
well.
that.
So yes, I'm growing and getting new ideas and
I
learning
love
from people
that.
as well.
I'm
Yep.
so excited for you. Like, I want to be in this program. I want
Yeah.
the first seat.
Definitely
If it's
join.
not
Join
going
while it's
already.
free, girl.
Yes.
Join while it's free.
I want the first seat. I want to learn everything it is that I need to learn. Because, like I said, I'm more of a marketing and content type person, and I just want to bring the party to somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I want to fill the seats. So
Yes.
we'll do it
Yes.
like
And
that.
I definitely can't wait for us to connect, because
Yes.
I love all of your energy.
I love it.
So
Yours
with
too.
your energy and me, girl, we can do some
We can do
dynamic
some
things,
things. We
and
can
we
do some things.
will. We will.
Tell me, Biggie or Jay-Z?
Woo, Lord.
This going to determine it.
So I like them both for different reasons.
Okay.
So Biggie, I love Biggie just because he's busy. I mean, he's Biggie.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
Jay-Z, his words, his phrases, the things, I can get deep in what he has a whole story, and you can relate it to your life of how you grew up and how you're working hard. The entrepreneurship in me can relate to Jay-Z.
I love that.
So
okay,
yeah.
now we're cool.
Okay,
You know that.
okay, all right,
we're
got
cool.
you.
Give us some advice, like that person that's trying to do it all, or even just start off the ground. You see somebody who, like, I want to do that. Like, I love what she's doing. Maybe that's the way my life is going. Just give us some advice for that.
So my advice would be that everything starts with your mindset, right? It's one thing to say that you want to have these big aspirations and you want to achieve these big goals, but it takes a lot of work to get your mind there.
Okay.
And I think that it starts with mindset. Once you decide that this is something that you want to do, you have to set a goal to achieve it, and you have to put the work in. Get somebody who's been there, someone who can help you get there, whether it's a coach, a mentor. There's a lot of free information out there that you can get. And most importantly, your circle is everything.
That's true.
Your net worth is your network, like, right? So surround yourself with people who are positive, surround yourself with people who are doing it, people who are going to give you constructive criticism, and people who truly want to see you win. Because if you don't, and when you don't, if you put yourself into a circle of people who really don't care, people who are losers, people who are, I'm going to say, broke, because I need that winning mindset. So I need to be in a room with people who are really making money, like, right?
Yes.
If you're in a room with someone who is just as on the same level as you or lower, then you need to put yourself into another circle, another room of people. So I think definitely work on your circle and your network and your mindset. And I think you can definitely achieve anything that you work hard for.
Can we say cheers to you? What you said, your network is your net worth.
It determines
Absolutely. It determines that.
Yes.
I love that you said that. Like,
I do. Yep.
I need a shirt with that on there. That's so dope, because that is true. I try to be around people who have way more than me because it's inspiring. I shop in the nice areas. go to
Yes.
rich people and do things like
Yep.
that, just to
Yep.
be around it.
Absolutely.
And you inspired me. Please tell us before we leave how you went and test drove your car, right?
I did.
Please, that was so inspiring.
And I actually went to drive. I've always wanted a Range Rover, so I went to go just randomly test drive it one day, and I really liked it. Then I started hearing things about it, so I ended up not getting the Range Rover, but I did get my luxury car that I absolutely love. So listen, manifestation,
so
affirmation is everything. You have to manifest it. Say it every day. Say it loud. Say it clear. People may think you crazy, but definitely manifest it, and it can be yours.
That's right. Yep. So before we go, tell us everything, how we can find you on socials, all of that.
So I am Workherpreneur on all platforms. WORKHERPRENEUR. Workherpreneur.
We need shirts. Can we get merch?
I have shirts. So merchandise is on my website. I'm not sure if it's live yet. It will be live soon.
Okay.
I do have this. I'm a huge affirmation person, so I'm a huge I love anything graphic tees.
Okay.
So we'll be doing a line of shirts. We'll be talking about how you can dress them with blazers for work, and at nighttime you can go to events. Workherpreneur on all platforms. You can also follow my venue at Venue 710 Creative Space on all platforms as well.
Yes, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you for being inspiring, because you are a part of your network. You know what I mean? Like I went to a networking event. I met you. You turned out to be awesome. You know what I mean? So, and it's work. So keep shining. We thank you so much
for having me.
No, thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Bye, everybody. Thank you for stopping by the Porch Podcast.